Hello dear students, welcome you all again. Today it is a continuation of glands. It's part 1, part 2. In our last online session, we had studied what is gland, what are the types of gland, what are the common architecture of gland, difference between serous and mucous acini, and common digestive and major salivary glands of our body. Today we're going to study about the endocrine gland. Our today's study objectives are introduction, name of gland, structure of pituitary gland and thyroid gland. These are the glands. Endocrine glands means these are the glands which secretes their products into the interstitial space and from there absorb rapidly into the bloodstream. So these glands secrete their product paracellularly and from there it is collected by blood or absorbed by blood. The endocrine gland exists either as discrete organs or found as small collection of cells in association with other organ. So it may be exist either as a discrete organ or collection of cell. The discrete endocrine glands are pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, pineal gland. And endocrine tissues or cell in association with other organs, islets of Langerhans cell, it is associated with pancreas, interstitial cells of Leydig, it is associated with testes, ovarian follicle and corpus luteum, these cells are associated with ovary, chorion are associated with Graafian follicle, Lasix cell and juxtaglomerular cell, JG cell, juxtaglomerular cell are associated with nephron, enteroendocrine cell are associated with GIT. Like other glands, endocrine gland also composed of two basic things. One is parenchyma, another one is stroma. Parenchyma composed of secretory portion and stroma composed of connective tissue, blood vessels, nerve and lymphatics. Now we're going to start pituitary gland. This is called master of endocrine gland. It is the master endocrine gland. Pituitary gland situated in the sella tarsica of sphenoid bone. It is connected by infundibular stalk with the hypothalamus. Its activity is regulated by the hormones of hypothalamus. This is the sella tarsica. Here the pituitary gland located. This is the vertical section of head and neck or sagittal section of head and neck. This is the lateral wall of nose, nasal cavity and oral cavity. These two cavities are separated by a septum. This is called heart palate. From behind there is a soft structure, it is called soft palate. And this is the base of the skull called basi-occiput. At the base of the skull, it is formed by the sphenoid bone. And sphenoid bone, there is a deepest area, it is called sella tarsica. And the sella tarsica contains pituitary gland. If you look at from above, this is the sella tarsica, this is pituitary gland. This is the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is connected by infundibular stalk with the hypothalamus. This is the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland consists of two lobes, adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis produce and secrete most of the hormone, whereas neurohypophysis store and release the hormone received from the hypothalamus. Adenohypophysis developed from oral ectoderm. After development, it lost its connection with the oral ectoderm. Whereas neurohypophysis developed from neuroectoderm, and after development, it remains attached with the hypothalamus by infundibular stalk. Again, adenohypophysis divided into three parts: pars distalis, pars tuberalis, and pars intermedia. And neurohypophysis divided into two parts: pars nervosa and infundibulum. This is the pars nervosa and infundibulum, part of neurohypophysis, and adenohypophysis, pars distalis, pars intermedia, and pars tuberalis. These are adenohypophysis. Pituitary gland blood supply is supplied by two sets of hypophyseal artery, superior and inferior hypophyseal artery, derived from internal carotid artery. And venous blood is carried by hypophyseal vein. This hypophyseal vein drains into cavernous sinuses. Superior hypophyseal artery, inferior hypophyseal artery. There is a secondary capillary plexus, there is a primary capillary plexus, and these two capillary plexus is connected by hypophyseal portal vein. So in pituitary gland, portal circulation present. The cells of adenohypophysis are arranged as irregular cord or clusters in between the secondary capillary plexus of hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. I repeat again. The cells of adenohypophysis are arranged as irregular cord or clusters in between secondary capillary plexus of hypothalamo-hypophyseal portal system. These cells are broadly classified into two major groups. So the cells of adenohypophysis are divided into two major groups, chromophils and chromophobes. Chromophils are further classified into acidophils and basophils. Chromophils and chromophobes, these names are based on criteria according to the affinity to chromium salt. The cells which have affinity, which are colored by chromium salt, they call chromophils. Which are not colored by chromium salt, they are called chromophobes. So chromophils, again two types, acidophils and basophils. These are the acidophils, these are the basophils. Under acidophils heading, two cells present, somatotropes and lactotropes. Somatotropes and lactotropes. Somatotropes secrete growth hormone, and growth hormone acts on skeletal tissue, epiphyseal cartilage and muscle. Lactotrope secrete prolactin. These acts on mammary gland. Prolactin helps in breast development and milk secretion. Basophil, under the heading of basophil, there are three cells, gonadotropes, thyrotropes, and corticotropes. Gonadotropes secrete luteinizing hormone LH and follicle stimulating hormone FSH. These two acts on ovary and testes. Follicle stimulating hormones stimulate follicular development of females and spermiogenesis in male, whereas luteinizing hormone stimulate ovulation and formation of corpus luteum in females and stimulation of Leydig cell to secrete testosterone in male. These are the function of gonadotropes. Thyrotropes. Thyrotropes secrete a hormone that is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone acts on thyroid gland and helps in secretion of T3 and T4. That means thyronine and triiodothyronine. Corticotropes. Corticotropes secrete adrenocorticotropic hormone and melanin stimulating hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone acts on adrenal cortex and melanin stimulating hormone acts on skin. On adrenal cortex, adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulate corticosteroid secretion and melanin stimulating hormone stimulate pigmentation of skin. Neurohypophysis. Neurohypophysis is composed of unmyelinated axon and pituitarites. Cell body of this axon are situated in supraoptic and paraventricular nuclei of hypothalamus. So in hypothalamus, two nuclei present. One is supraoptic, one is paraventricular nuclei. And unmyelinated axon of neurohypophysis are situated in these two nuclei. Supraoptic nuclei are mainly concerned with vasopressin secretion and paraventricular nuclei are concerned with oxytocin secretion. Oxytocin performs important function in female during final stage of pregnancy, parturition and lactation, whereas vasopressin regulates the osmotic balance by increasing reabsorption of water and also induce vasoconstriction, causing increased blood pressure. So vasopressin causes vessel constriction and increased blood pressure, and oxytocin helps in final stage of pregnancy, parturition and lactation. Pituitary slide identifying points. In slide, pars distalis is varicellular and contains three types of cell: chromophils, chromophobes, acidophils, basophils. Pars intermedia forms thin sheet of blue staining cells separated from pars distalis by hypophyseal cleft, and pars nervosa containing unmyelinated nerve fibers and pituitarites. These are the basophils. These are the acidophils. This is pars distalis, pars nervosa, pars intermedia, infundibulum, pars tiberalis. Now, thyroid gland. General feature. Thyroid gland, it consists of two lobes connected by isthmus and is located in the lower part of neck, clasping larynx and trachea. Thyroid gland is covered by two capsules. It stores large quantity of its hormonal secretion extracellularly as colloid, in contrast to other endocrine glands which store very small quantities intracellularly as secretory granules only. So this is the difference of thyroid gland with the other gland. Thyroid gland store its content as inactive form. It is called colloid extracellularly, whereas others endocrine gland store small quantities intracellularly as secretory granules. Development. Bulk of gland, that means follicular cells, is derived from thyroglossal duct, whereas parafollicular cells develop from ultimobranchial body of the fourth branchial pouch. Ultimobranchial body of the fourth branchial pouch. This is the location of thyroid gland at neck, clasping the larynx and trachea. These are two lobes. These two lobes are connected by isthmus. This is thyroid gland. This is the isthmus of thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. Structure. Microscopically, thyroid gland is composed of stroma and parenchyma. Stroma, the connective tissue framework of the gland from the stroma of the organ, which includes a capsule and the supporting intralobular loose areolar connective tissue. The fibroelastic true capsule covers the gland and sends delicate septa, dividing the gland into a number of ill-defined lobules. Parenchyma or thyroid follicle. The structural and functional units of glands are known as thyroid follicle. These follicles are spherical in shape, lined by simple cuboidal epithelium consisting of follicular cell. The follicular cells are responsible for the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormone, namely triiodothyronine T3 and tetraiodothyronine T4 or thyroxine. These are follicle. These are follicular lining, follicular cells. This is the colloid. This is colloid. Colloid are homogeneous, jelly-like structure. These are inactive form of thyroid hormone. The lumen of follicle contains a homogeneous gel-like substance called colloid or thyroglobulin, which is the stored inactive form of thyroid hormone. Thyroid follicle may be in two stages. One is resting follicle, another one is active follicle. The resting follicle are large, lined by squamous epithelium with few microvilli of the luminal surface. Squamous epithelium. Nucleus of epithelial cell is dark. Large amount of acidophilic colloid in the lumen. So follicles are large in size, lined by simple squamous epithelium, large amount of acidophilic colloid within the lumen. If it is active follicle, then follicles are small, lined by cuboidal or low columnar epithelium. Nucleus of epithelial cells are pale, little amount of colloid with scallop border. The secretory activity of follicular cell is controlled by TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, that is the cell thyrotropes present in pituitary gland. In addition to follicular cell, the thyroid gland contains parafollicular cell or clear cell or C cell. These cells are large, pale staining cells with granular cytoplasm and are found either single or in small groups within a follicle or between the follicles in the interfollicular space. Those found within the follicular epithelium never reach a follicular lumen. The parafollicular cell synthesis and secrete calcitonin, and calcitonin lowers blood calcium level by inhibiting bone resorption. Function of thyroid hormone: protein metabolism, carbohydrate metabolism, and lipid metabolism. Slide identifying points of thyroid gland. composed of lobules separated by interlobular connective tissue septa. Lobule contains large number of follicles. Follicle lined by simple cuboidal epithelium containing colloidal particle. Parafollicular cells are clear cells between thyroid follicles. This is a thyroid gland. This is a lobule of thyroid gland. Lobule of thyroid gland. These are follicles inside the follicle. Colloid inside the follicle. These are colloid. Parafollicular cells in between the follicle. Thank you all. Stay home. Stay safe.